Was a girl running in our group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod and large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod.
We're going to play for you my interview with Jeff Barron from Interstate Battery. He is the lab manager in Dallas, Texas. We got to keep up on the batteries, and Interstate is the #1 replacement battery in the world. The world. I stock them at my shop, and there's shops all over the country that stock them. They are the best there is, and he's going to fill us in on what's going on in the world of the batteries. And by goodness, that's our future. So let's listen to what Jeff had to say. With us today, we have Jeff Barron, the manager of the research labs in Dallas, Texas for Interstate Batteries. Batteries, it's all we talk about in this show for the last 6 months is batteries and battery-operated cars. Jeff, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you,
it's
guys.
Always a pleasure to talk to you in Texas.
Oh, you as well.
Yeah, how was the snow down there? Did you have fun?
Snowmageddon was horrible.
I'll bet.
Power outages, frozen water lines, you name it. It was bad.
Oh, in a snowstorm like that, when you're not ready for it,
No.
I mean, there's no way that you. Yeah, I mean, do you even own a snow shovel?
No. What's that?
Yeah, and did the town own a snowplow? That's the other question.
No, that's the other thing. There was no snow plows.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? At least you had Interstate Batteries in all your vehicles.
That is correct.
And everything started. Listen,
Yes.
what's the latest scoop at Interstate? What's going on? Huh? Are you guys? You're jumping and jiving? Are you?
Yeah, we are. Our lab right now. I mean, we have typically 96 cycling channels that we can actually do cycle out testing. Well, we are running at 120% right now. We've got batteries that are waiting in the wings to bring in to start testing. So this is an ongoing process for us because as we're the industry leader out there, we've got to stay on top of everything that's coming through. So we got to look at our product. We got to look at our competitors because we got to see, what makes ours so much better than theirs, and what can we do to increase ours and make them a lot better than they are now.
And
so this is it's never ending.
Yeah. Well, listen, you guys are definitely the leaders in replacement batteries. There's none better. I mean, I had one the other day in a lady's car. It was 11 years old.
11?
Yeah, she said.
I guess maybe we built that one too good because.
Yeah, really. She said, "You think I need a new battery?" I said, "I don't know. It was an Interstate battery. It was 11 years old." I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it's a great thing. Now, listen, are you guys doing anything with lithium ion?
Yes. Yeah. And this, we won't tell a whole lot of people, right?
Okay.
So we're actually testing some lithium product now. We will be, our hope and expectation is by spring of next year, we'll have the marine product out. So this will be strictly for deep cycle. As far as starting, I mean, right now that's kind of it's kind of a niche market because when you build lithium for cranking applications, there's a couple things have to happen. You have to have a way to keep the battery warm in cold temperatures because lithium doesn't like cold.
That's correct.
It doesn't like hot temperatures. So then you got to find a way to make them cool.
Right.
So that's always a struggle because what you're looking at is this internal lithium product has got these internal components to keep them warm and cool, and they're pulling from that same very battery. So that's kind of where it's hard to kind of make them both even to make it all work out, generally.
Exactly. Those things they're using that battery to climatize that battery.
Exactly.
So more wear and tear. I wonder sometimes how this is going to go because a lot of the lithium ion people are talking about getting away from it now.
Yeah.
They're trying to do solid state batteries. Is Interstate got anything going in the works there?
No, we're actually really focusing a lot now on the lithium phosphate. So with phosphate, it's a lot more safety regulated to where you don't have that thermal runaway. Plus, you have these incorporated BMS modules that are inside the battery as well. The BMS is a battery monitoring system. So you've got all these little individual cells in there to give your power output. These have got a system in there that monitors every one of those cells. So what it does, if it senses that one cell is getting out of balance, it equalizes the whole thing.
Oh my! Sometimes there's like 50 or 60 cells, right?
Exactly.
Oh
So
my.
when we look at that aspect of it, that's kind of what we're focusing on, because as you look at, and especially since COVID, the RV market has it's blown up. Let me just say that.
Oh, exactly.
So a lot of folks now, and you think about this time last year, we were all we're freaking out, to be honest, because what's the future going to look like? Because everybody that was used to going into work, now we're having to work from home. And so you're doing Zoom meetings, you're doing Microsoft Teams. So you're doing all these different meetings now. And now the companies have kind of gotten adjusted to this. And so the big corporations are like, well, why do we have these big corporate buildings now? We're getting the same production, if not more, with folks from home. Why do we need that all that big expense for this big building when there's nobody in it? So it's kind of changed the mindset thinking. Now, on the switch side of that, now folks can work from anywhere. So they started buying RVs.
How do you run a lab remotely, though?
I can't. That's me. I've been here ever since.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I've not been the one going home. Dang it.
Lab is one of the things that has to be staffed somehow.
Yes. So my wife actually also works for Interstate. She's part of the paralegal group here. So she's the legal. So she's working from home and loves it because, number one, she gets more done.
Yeah.
There's nobody coming in and out of her office.
I've heard all those arguments. Ford is thinking about leaving about half of their work staff to work at home.
Exactly. And it kind of makes sense because for us, I mean, and we look at it as a large corporation with Interstate, we are seeing so much more getting accomplished because they're not having to figure out, oh, what am I going to wear to work? Oh, what's so-and-so going to say about me? So there's none of that. You can come to work in your pajamas. What's up with that? So it's
I have a question for you. I had a Hyundai in my shop today that was going to need the battery for the hybrid.
Yep.
Do you guys make that battery?
No. And here's the thing about that, because you're looking at anywhere from a 160 to 500 volt battery pack. So those things get really expensive. Let me just tell you that.
I'll bet they do.
Oh yeah, when you're talking $8,000 to $9,000 for a battery pack.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So
we don't make that battery. I wouldn't want to sell that battery.
Well, what we've seen throughout the industry, and it's a lot of this is happening here in Dallas. You got a lot of folks that are actually rebuilding these packs because it's not necessarily the whole thing that's went down. Because you're talking 300 to 400 modules that are in there. Well, you may only have 1 or 2 modules that have actually went out that has brought that battery pack down. So these guys are actually rebuilding these because you can buy the single cells for them, and the packs. And so all you got to do is figure out which one it is, and you swap it out.
I see.
Now you've got this brand new battery now. Now there's a trade-off on that though. So lithium, when you're trying to get rid of lithium, you got to pay somebody to come take it from you.
Oh, I'll bet. Listen, I got to ask you, there was a story about a Tesla that was in a wreck and caught on fire.
Yep.
And they brought it to the body shop. And when it was sitting in the stall, it caught on fire again.
Yeah.
That's the lithium.
Yeah. Thermal runaway. Whenever those things get out of balance, you have to run that safety aspect of it. And that's where, well, if the BMS is destroyed, guess what? That thing can do whatever it wants to now.
Absolutely, without telling anybody.
Yep.
I asked our local fire chief if, what would you do to put a fire out with lithium ion? He goes, we don't know yet.
Yeah, you just let it burn. Sooner or later, it's going to go out.
Just let it burn. I can't believe that. That's insane. But you know what? I've seen it, and they are. And they're hot. That fire is so hot.
Yes,
you guys have to be so careful with that lithium.
Oh yeah, because you're talking 1,1700 degrees. I mean, that's a lot more than this hold the marshmallow over there.
And you probably got a bottle of it. You got a bottle of it sitting behind you on the floor, I'm sure.
No, they're all in the lab.
That's it. You keep that in a safe, do you? Someplace solid.
Yeah, well, and the nice thing about what we're doing here on the testing too is that all of the units that we've got here to do the testing, they all have the safety nets built into them. So if there is even a 1/10 of a volt out of range, it shuts it off. And so you won't have anything else going through to the battery. So that's a huge plus. So there are a lot of really neat features that have actually come out with this lithium product, and being able to run a battery down to 100% depth of discharge and recharge it 10 times faster than you can on a typical flooded or AGM product, and then keep doing this over and over and over again for 3,000 to 5,000 cycles. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, but then as you were talking earlier, though, price. There's always a price.
That's more or less amazing, actually.
Yes, that it is.
Interstate Battery is really getting involved with the lithium replacement batteries, or
yes,
and the battery packs.
Yes, we're actually looking at like group size 24s, 27s. We will probably look in the market also, and it's probably been another year down the road, but we'll also look at some of like the golf cart size batteries, the GC2s, but actually be able to incorporate a 48 volt into that small package. So that way you're cutting down on the weight for sure. But we also, unfortunately, even though we're doing all this, unfortunately, we also have to look at a lot of these golf cart products, and whether it's Bad Boy Motors or Intimidator, whomever. So they're also, when they build these carts, they actually build them with the weight involved with the batteries to kind of balance them out.
Yes.
Now that you've taken a lithium product and you've basically brought everything into a 48 volt into this little bitty package, how are you going to balance out the rest of the car? Yeah. So that's kind of what we're up against right now, because then you got to use what we call dummy batteries to try to offset that weight. So there's a lot of things that are coming down the pike, though. It's,
there'll be some design changes, I'm sure. How come Interstate, the only major player I know in the car world, doesn't build their own car? Everybody else is building their own electric car.
Yeah.
I would love to see an Interstate car.
We like sponsoring the NASCAR, because if they break it, it's not really on us.
I love it. I mean, everybody is building an electric car. There's a million new battery makers starting up. Yep. And every time you turn around, somebody's canning that battery maker and going to a different one. And my goodness, I don't know if I'd want to be part of that whole game.
Oh, I know. Hey, and George, I was going to let you guys also know that Interstate, we're also doing a lot of online pro clinics now. So get you guys involved and some of the folks that you work with to kind of listen in. Yeah, because this goes back through battery charging, testing, applications, because now as you're looking at a lot of vehicles that are being computer controlled alternators, you've actually got to be able to incorporate this into the system showing it's a new battery. Otherwise, it charges at a higher charging voltage. It could take out everything. We're just trying to inform everybody, and you guys are top notch on being able to put me on. And how you put up with me, I have no idea, but hey, I'm all right with that.
Boy, if you get a chance, I'd like you to send me some information on that for my shop,
buddy.
For my guys, we're always into the training, especially if a quality company comes up with it. Yeah. Because there's a lot of fly-by-nights out there, but Interstate, Interstate is anything but fly-by-night.
Yeah, well, and also if you go to the Interstate Batteries website, if you scroll down to the very bottom, you'll see the Innovative Lab. You can actually take a virtual tour of the lab.
Oh, yeah?
So you can see exactly what I run back here. And it's state-of-the-art. I mean, we put a lot of money and time into this, and a lot of blood and sweat and tears too. But, this has been great. And we're even talking about expansion again. So it'll be doubling the capacity, doubling my time here. So I guess I'll be here 24/7.
You're there too much now. You are virtually the core, the hub of the electrical business.
Yes.
And this is everything is going to revolve around batteries.
Yes.
And their use, battery packs, batteries. It's going to be. And there's always going to be the one battery to start the car or whatever, but battery packs for a full electric car, that is the battery.
Well, and because you've been working on some of the higher end cars as well, you notice they've got an auxiliary battery in there now because of all the key off drains that they've got. So even that one big starting battery can't keep up with everything else that's running.
That was the thing I was going to get to. Key off drains.
Yes.
I see that Interstate seems to handle them much better than most of the other batteries I see out there, but anybody can kill an Interstate. I saw during the pandemic people that parked their cars for 3 months.
Yes.
I sold batteries, Jeff. like there was no tomorrow.
I believe it.
It was in the middle of the summer, or the fall or spring. I'm selling batteries to people because they didn't drive them for 3 months. Well, I'm just going to charge it up. It's not coming back.
No.
Those battery drains just took it away.
Yes. Well, and so that made you money, right?
Oh baby, I was selling a bunch of batteries every week. I mean, a bunch. And that was good for Interstate. You guys had to see a surge in product.
We did. Well, I will say that the first couple months, I mean, we were like, what's going to happen? And then it was just like you hit the switch, and it was like everybody started getting back out, and the cars wouldn't start. And so our sales were like, it went like this, and then it went.
Yeah, that's exactly what mine did.
We can't keep up.
Yeah, my chart looks like an Alp. Looks like the Alps up and down. But yeah, it's been really great. Jeff, I tell you, I love talking to you. I love talking to Colin. I love calling Dallas, Texas anyway.
Hey, we appreciate that too.
And I'm so glad for your insight. And anytime you guys want to call me, we're going to call me. I want you to come up with anything new. Anytime you got something new, I want the insight on it.
I can do it, buddy. I got your email, I got your phone number, and I know how to get you down on the radio.
Thanks for being on the show, buddy.
Oh, hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Take care and be safe out there in that snow.
You too. Don't get in no trouble either.
Go buy a snow shovel, will you?
I think I will.
All right, buddy. Take. Now I got a special guest coming on. He's on the line here. He's from the Knights of the Innocent. His name is Dan Gurney. And the Knights of the Innocent is a motorcycle club that does a lot of different motorcycle stuff and car stuff, blah, blah, blah. They're gearheads like I am and clutch busters. That's just what they are. But they have a special mission statement. Let's talk to Dan Gurney. Dan, you're on with the car guy.
How you doing this morning?
You know what? If I was any better, I'd be twins, Dan. That's how good I feel. Dan, I'm telling people about the Knights of the Innocent, and I don't know enough. I know it's a motorcycle club, but tell us what the actual meaning of the Knights of the Innocent means.
Well, I'd like to introduce you to another guy that's on the phone with me. His real name is Woo Woo. He's our vice president, and he would love to answer that question for you.
Absolutely. Let's talk to Woo Woo. I've never talked to Woo Woo.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm interested. I'm interested in the Knights of the Innocent. The name, it's asking. It begs the question: who is the innocent? Who are we talking about?
The innocent are the abused and the bullied. That's really the short answer. Senior citizens, veterans, and children.
Oh, all the way senior citizens and veterans plus children. Oh my!
Yes, sir.
Oh my! And you guys have different motorcycle runs, I'm sure, and car shows and stuff, and do stuff to raise money for this. But who actually handles, like if you find a child that's being abused, who handles that?
So we do. What we do is we adopt them into our club as honorary knights, and we shield them from their abusers.
I love it. I love it. I'm part of the elderly. Maybe you could adopt me. I'd be great. Nobody's abusing me yet, but my producer Eric's thinking about it. And he talks about you guys all the time, and I just think this is such a great thing. Now, the bullied and the abused. What if it's abused by the parents? I mean, that's got to be hot.
So in that case, what will happen is we'll get cases referred to us by local agencies such as DCFS, or even just other family members will refer us the case, and we'll take it on as long as the abuser is not a part of that family or not part of the child's life anymore.
I got you.
And we'll do things such as escort them to school, court cases, you name it. They have therapy they need to go to. We're there for them.
Wow, you guys are something else. I'm sure you've got some fundraisers coming up. Anything in the works you want us to put on the air? We can get some people out there. I'd love to come to one myself. Whatever you're doing for this.
Every fourth Thursday of the month, actually, that you ask, we host we call it Bike Night, of course, spelled with K. at Top Fuel Saloon in Braidwood.
Okay.
And that is, I believe we start that in May through October.
Okay, and this is Braidwood, Illinois.
Yes, sir. And then on top of that, we also do host an annual run. I believe ours is the first weekend of August this year. Am I correct? Yes. Yep.
And that gives
So
you...
we do host an annual child abuse awareness run, and that is the first weekend of August this year.
And that gives you guys the funds to take care of take care of business here, to maintain what you do, because there's just the breaking the silence is in your brochure, and it's just kind of eerie, breaking the silence of abuse is, my God, and it's somebody it's actually got to be somebody that's not afraid to break the silence.
Well, and that's the thing, is that we exist to shield those children or those senior veterans so that they can have that voice to speak out against their abuser.
And you veterans, I'm sure you find them treatment for PTSD and stuff like that.
Whatever we can do.
Yeah, there's
Whatever
a place.
we can do.
There's a place in Crown Point, Indiana, Operation Bike Saver, and that's all veterans working on motorcycles.
Yeah, that was that one that Mike Rowe, I believe, actually hosted a show there.
He did a show there, and it came out great. They're doing stuff for veterans, and there's always guys that could probably use you guys. I mean, you guys are. I'm surprised you guys aren't like 10,000 strong. This is a topic that everybody talks about, but nobody does anything. You guys are doing something.
Well, we are still a budding club. We're about to celebrate our third year. The first couple of years are all our building and forming years,
Absolutely.
And it's not something you can just jump off and decide you're going to start something and it's done. So it takes a lot of building, a lot of work, a lot of effort on everybody's part.
We need to get the word out on you guys. Everybody needs to know about the Knights of the Innocent, because that's a great motorcycle club, and it's a great mission statement. I mean, you guys are talking about the elderly, veterans, and children. Whoever comes to you.
Yes, sir.
Whoever hits the door. That's
and I'll tell you, if it's something that we can't assist in, we do have a plethora of other organizations that we can refer people to. We're not just going to leave you high and dry.
I see. If it's up above and beyond.
We can assist. Exactly. If it's not something we can assist in, we do have other organizations that we may know or that we know of that we know that can help them.
Wow, you guys don't leave it hang. You guys keep it. You can take it to the finish. I like that. That's perseverance, and that's great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. You guys are breaking the silence, and everybody needs to know that. Knights of the Innocent is a very, I'm telling you, as far as I'm concerned, is a very important. You guys are opening your mouths and saying something where people that have known this kind of abuse and this bull for so long, and nobody says anything, nobody does anything, and you guys are breaking that silence, and I think that's fantastic.
And the sad part about that is it becomes a normal for them.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, if you get a 9 or 10-year-old boy that's being bullied, send him over. I'll teach him how to box. I'm an expert. Mm-hmm. I'll teach him. He'll never get bullied again. Let me just tell you, you break your first nose, nobody bullies you after that. That's how that works. I understand. I understand. But I'm telling you, I'm basically a violent guy. Born and raised that way, I suppose. Yeah, just born and raised that way. That's the way it is. Listen, I want to thank you guys. I'm telling you, this is one of the things that I want to take further. I don't want this to end on this show. We're going to do this again, and we're going to do it again, and we're going to make people listen to this stuff. And I'm going to put it on the Facebook, or I'm going to put it on my page. This is something that I really could get behind. I got to tell you, it's something that I believe in. And
right now we're only. We can only be as big as we are, and right now we're only really in the Chicago, they call it the Southlands, south of 80 basically.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at right now, because basically I need to be within an hour of one of my honorary or junior nights.
Okay.
Be able to get there. 3:00 in the morning, that phone rings.
You gotta
I need
go.
to get there. I need to get there in a timely fashion.
Yeah, I really think I could identify with you guys. I spent my whole school career, grade school and high school, beating up on bullies, knocking them around, and I just think this is like the cause of my life. I like this cause. I really like this cause.
Well, we greatly appreciate it. We really, really appreciate the time.
I'm glad you called. We're going to do this again, buddy. This is for sure. We're going to talk again. I'll call Dan or I'll call you, one of the two. I just love this cause. I like you guys, and thanks for everything you do, boys.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, buddies. Thanks.
All right, we'll talk to you.
Yes,
Have
sir.
a great day.
You too. I'm telling you guys, this is a cause that you can get behind. A lot of people can get behind, but they just don't say anything. Well, if you're not afraid to say anything, or if you are afraid to say anything, these guys will say it for you. And that's the name of that tune.